Finishers MMA, finishersmma.com, at Finishers. That's how you find them on social media. These guys have a show with us every Monday called Now We Go. You can check it out. Zach, JM, Thor, Grace, there's too many to name that come out of that school, and they are killers in the game. They are the biggest MMA jiu-jitsu school in the area, and they are owning the East Coast. You can contact them at 610-438-0746. Ask for Andrew. They are at 3761 Nicholas Street in Easton, PA. They have 2 locations as of now, Bethlehem and Allentown. They are growing into 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say they are taking over, but they already have. Check them out on all of their social media. They are awesome to follow. And if you're looking to get in shape, you're looking to choke people, you're looking to do anything at all to better your life, finishersmma.com. AllValleyRooter.net. That's not how you pronounce it all the time. I just say it that way. All Valley Rooter, Jared LaBarba. He is my plumber. He's the show's plumber. I'm getting him plumbing business all over, and I love that he is getting what he wants. He has 24-hour emergency service. He is certified, insured, and professional. You can follow him at All Valley Rooter. He's on social media, and you can find his information at allvalleyrooter.net. Jared came down over the weekend and he fixed a problem down here. He's super professional. I love him as a person. I love his business. He grew it, and he's doing his own thing. It's allvalleyrooter.net. It's 24-hour professional plumbing services. He can help you out with everything you need. It's 610-762-1656. He's certified, insured, and professional. Do not be afraid to contact him for any of your plumbing needs. Support Jared. Jared supports us. Luke Delmeyer Handmade Custom Knives. I love Luke. It's lukedelmeyer.com. He's a farrier, a bladesmith, and a blacksmith. He has custom knives, and the best part about it is you can take classes to make them. So not only can you take a class to learn how to make knives, at the end of the class, you get that knife. We're working on a project together. He started recently getting into chef knives, so he's starting to make chef knives. He makes hunting knives. He can make any of your needs as far as blacksmithing. That's at Luke Delmeyer on Instagram. That is the best way to follow him. You can see all the stuff that he's posting. He shares, he does raffles, he gives giveaways. Check out all things Luke Delmeyer at lukedelmeyer.com. We've had him on the show before. You can dig down in the library, listen to how he got started and where he's at now. I'm excited to work with Luke. He's a really good friend of the show, and I'm excited to showcase his chef knife that he's making me. Check out all things Luke Delmeyer at lukedelmeyer.com. Farrier, bladesmith, blacksmith. Rips Auto Detail. This guy is the best, hands down, in the area. I've interviewed him. I know his story. He's doing things that others aren't, and I love that he fucks with the show. I love getting the best of the best and having them support and be a part of this. That's what the sponsorship is for. I'm giving you the best people in their profession, and Rips is the best at auto detail. It's at Rips Auto Detail for Instagram. You follow that. He's showing you the different cars he does, and it's at 630 North Nelson Street in Allentown, PA. He offers paint correction, ceramic, SPS coatings, and more. This is appointment only, and it's ripsautodetail@gmail.com. You can call him at 484-553-1366. I tell you, follow him. If you don't know, you want to know more about what he does, follow him on Instagram. Follow Rips Auto Detail, and you can see all the things that Rip does. He's a big part of the show. We have a separate show we do called Road Dogs, and you can check out his past interviews and hear his whole story. I couldn't recommend this guy more for your auto, car, boat, plane. This guy literally has done everything, and he is the best in the area doing this. Rips Auto Detail. Never Again Radio episode. I have no goddamn clue. Welcome to Never Again Radio, my friend.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
You just opened down the road from us. I heard some things about it, and then I went in. Mersin on Maine. You guys are doing Mediterranean and Turkish food?
That's right.
Where did all this start from you? I mean, I kind of want to peel back your entire story, but like, where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Turkey, and I'm born in Mersin, south of Turkey.
Yeah.
And I moved out from my country in 1992, right after my army service, military service. So
Now, and I want to get into that for a second because it's not
Okay.
just military service. It was
Okay.
mandatory military
Mandatory,
service.
yes.
Yeah, that's different than here.
yeah,
So how old
Exactly.
were you when you went into the military?
20.
Wow.
I was 20 years old.
And how long did you have to actually serve?
Years and a half.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Not really.
I guess
But-
anything you're forced
but
to do.
but as all men in Turkey, when they do this, they proud.
Yeah.
We have to do this.
Yeah. You have to do it.
We have to do it. Otherwise, we can't do anything in our country without this service.
Yeah. So when you got out of the service, what were you looking to do? Did you have a passion? Did you find anything? How, like, was the service something that, like, you found a passion inside there, or was it kind of like you did your time and you got done and you're like, now what do I do?
Actually, before service, my father had business. I was working with him.
Yeah.
Then 1990s, this Iraqi war start. Iraqi-Kuwaiti war.
Yeah.
War is start. So all the borders get closed in Turkey to Iraq. So my father' business was like transportation business. So he was like taking the stuff from the international port in Mersin, taken to Iraq. So when border is closed and transportation is stopped, so he got bankrupt actually. So we got nothing else to do after bankruptcy. So I'm the oldest one in the family. So I just say to them, hey, I gotta go somewhere. Economy goes down. There is no job. Say, I gotta go somewhere. They just say, oh, where you gonna go? I say, I'm gonna go to Europe. I'm gonna take my chance. Then I went to England, London. It was like long story because it wasn't like illegal. It wasn't like legal trip. It was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was
yeah,
it?
It was illegal trip.
Yeah.
It was illegal trip. So I went to Poland first. So I jump out. I just ran out from the plane. I jump on other plane. Then I went to London. Then I came out from the plane. If I don't like came out and escaped from the plane, I was gonna end up in Bulgaria somewhere.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How old were you at this time?
I was like almost 23 years old. Like it's only like few months missing. Like
Yeah.
23 years old. It was end of 1992. It was like Christmas of 1993. So Christmas of 1992. Then I get London. I've start searching job. I work in like the kitchen most of the times, doing washing dishes, doing cleaning around, and trying to help sous chef or chefs to cut the vegetables. Then keep stepping up. Then after I learn how to cook like proper Turkish food, I jump on other restaurants like Italian cuisines,
Yeah.
Italian and French
Well,
cuisines.
what's
I got-
considered proper Turkish food? Like what foods are that you learned?
The Turkish food is just like our. That's the like familiar food. It is easy to cook for us because we know like what's the taste of it, and we start cooking like most of the stuff in Turkish food. There's like grilled kebab food and gyro.
Yeah.
That's the main thing we learn, and that's what they do in Europe. But Turkish kitchen is like really, really wide range kitchen. There is like thousands of like different food. You can cook with the fruit as well in our food, but
So that's what you started as your culinary
Yeah.
base was.
from
was-
the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is a good base because if there's that much open range on all
Yeah.
those different foods, you're learning all the different
Yeah,
spices and you can
exactly.
blend and
Exactly.
that's a really good palate to learn on.
As soon as I learned like my own food, like my own country food, how to cook, and when I jump to like Italian kitchen and French kitchen, I'll mix them up. It just you can create like new menu, new kind of food. You just change like few spice on that. You change the recipe with adding something on it and taking out something on it on like French plate or Italian plate. It's totally came out something different. It's still like Mediterranean food. It just feel like it's just little different than like what they make in from original kitchen. So yeah, after like Turkish kitchen, I've worked on Italian kitchens like about 3 4 years. I work on French cuisines another like 3 4 years. I'm back to Turkish kitchen again on different style. It's not kebab style, it's the saute style. And I never had my own restaurant in Europe. I stayed in the industry about 15 years.
That's a long time. But what a
So
skill set
15
to
years.
bounce around. I worked with a gentleman one time who came to this country, and he stayed in New York, and he did a similar. I mean, you were in the region, but he did a very similar thing where he stayed in French cooking for 3 to 4 years, Italian cooking, and he really crossed every palate. And it was one of the most talented people I've ever worked with because he knew so much about every single
Yeah.
origin he was cooking in.
Yeah, I'm in same page with him.
Yeah.
Because that three food like Turkish, Italian, French, maybe he work only like Italian, French, also like Spanish. It's very too easy mixed up all these
Yeah.
three food and create another like menu plate or something special. It's easy to create it if you know how to cook. Probably that's why I picked up those kind of cuisines. So it's very close like what I used to make and easy to work with it. And after that, I'll move out to United States like after 18 years.
Yeah. When you were climbing the ladder from the dishwasher, when I started in a kitchen, I mean, I'm not a comparable skill set to you at all, but working your way up in a kitchen, it's a very like a gratifying thing to go from the dishwasher to the fryer. I mean, I'm talking a very simple thing, but like it's not the easiest thing to work your way up in a kitchen. You have to earn it.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, especially if you move from somewhere to somewhere. I'm talking about like country.
Yeah.
You moving out, you got no language to speak. You got no communication with other people. You finding job, they give you job. I got nowhere to stay.
That was my other question was going to be is where were you staying when you were doing this? Were you just kind of like living paycheck to paycheck and kind of
I was
doing your own
actually,
thing?
I was illegal.
Yeah.
So illegal people, actually, they don't get paycheck. They get cash
Yeah.
or other other options are.
How are you surviving?
It's just that place. He gave me a room.
Yeah.
It's not room like I used to live in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Actually, they just give me a room in the kitchen. They just say, "Hey, we can't pay you. I'll give you roof on your head and free food. Then, if you like it, you come and start." I just say, "Okay, fine."
Yeah.
I take that job. I start living in the kitchen and work in the kitchen. So they feed me up. Then I'll start learning stuff. So when I feel myself ready to move out somewhere, I'll start looking job, like real job in different places. And I met other peoples. I told them, "Hey, I'm looking for a job. I got this skill. I can like do prep and washing dishes, the cleaning, this stuff." They just say, "How much you looking for?" I just say, "Do you have room to give me?" Like in Europe, the place there's like shop and there is living place on top of it. That's how the buildings like set up. So whoever work downstairs, they live upstairs. So owner got like whole building. He split all that rooms for his employees. So he gave me room upstairs. He gave me a chance to work downstairs, and with little amount of money, the cash. Then I worked like 2-3 years for that guy.
How many hours a week were you working?
Actually, 12 hours a day.
I was going to say you're
Yeah.
probably working.
12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And because it's off the book.
Yeah, but
And-
you're just happy to have a place to live at that point.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough. It was like I wasn't really like enjoying, just exciting thing about this. You learn something new every day. So thinking like you're building up your future, like what you're gonna do, what you have to do, and this kind of job is always survive you.
Yeah.
Always, because you can find this kind of job, like cooking job, almost everywhere.
Yeah. That was my favorite thing about when I first started to learn how to cook. And then when I moved down south, it was the first job I got because I knew how to bartend. I knew how to cook, and everybody always needs a bartender or a cook. So it was like I immediately could get into that. And then I was like, oh, wow, like if you have a skill set, you can travel and, you know, you kind of have a freedom about you where
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where you go, there's a job opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
I
then
agree.
yeah, there's always somewhere like, and you can, you know, and then if you do it off the books, a lot of time they prefer that.
Yeah.
So it's like you can kind of get into somewhere, make some cash. If you don't like it, you can move on. It was always something about the industry that appealed to me, that you can kind of take a skill set and go
Yeah.
where you would want to go.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with it. I used to work, actually. I was on and off sometime on this industry. I was doing like machine operator. I was operating the machine, packaging machines. I work on different jobs. But anytime when I lost my job or something happened, I jump back right
Yeah.
on food industry.
Yeah.
I never sit back home like
No.
waiting for the job.
No.
There is always job already out there. I'll jump on it. I'll keep going, learn something new. And good things are, if you stay like long time in this kind of business, you don't need to write your recipes. If you know how to cook, you can create that.
Yeah.
You don't need to write like, hey, half cups like cumin, half cup sugar, the quarter cup salt, and you can make this sauce. No, it won't work that way. I mean, sometimes that half cup, quarter cup, it won't work. You have to make it your own and taste it. If you catch the right taste, that's it. That's yours. And that's how I work. Or most of the places, they don't really like give me the major things to
Yeah.
make a sauce or
You're making
or
it
cook
by
something. Yeah, you're making it by like, I would say. So when I grab something like grab spicy, is I know how much I have to grab it with my
Yeah.
hand,
Yeah.
with my pinch. I'm just pinching the spice.
That's the best way to cook, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe it's the most freeing, creative way. Because sometimes when I'll make something down here, even for my friends, I'll be like, man, I should have wrote that down. And then when I make it
No,
the
you
next time,
shouldn't.
I know, but then like the next time I'll make it, I'll be like, oh, all right. And then you kind of remember where you were at on it. And then you make it. And it's like every time you make that dish, it's a little bit more of its own,
Yeah.
getting closer to a thing. But if I would write it out like I'm
You'll
baking.
forget. You'll
Yeah,
forget it.
yeah.
You forget what you're doing.
And if I wrote
If
it
you
down,
write
I
it
wouldn't
down.
want to make it.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, honestly.
I know.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're going to forget what you did because it's under your mind. You're going to say, yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll write it down anyway. It's on the side.
I have a ton of cookbooks over there, and I don't really cook out of them. I'll look at them and get like a general idea, and then I'll just make
Yeah.
it the way I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That helps.
That's my
helps.
favorite way to cook. Like I'll get into something that I have no clue what I'm doing, even if it's the simplest thing of, doing a breaded chicken. And it's like, but I want to do everything from scratch. I'll Google, I'll pull up YouTube, and then they'll start explaining it. And as soon as I see how to do the actual thing that I am, then I just turn it off, and then I get into what I would want to do.
Yeah.
I just needed the general knowledge of the base
Yeah.
of building it. And once you have the base of building it, you can do whatever you want. Now, with that saying that, you must have an encyclopedia of so much things that you probably have endless creativity in your
Yeah,
food because of where you
exactly.
worked.
Exactly. You just, that's like, I'll tell you something about like back in days. In the kitchen, they were making tabbouleh. Like tabbouleh is most common appetizers on Mediterranean food. The Lebanese making that, the Syrian making that, the Greeks making those tabboulehs. Everybody making like on different way, right? It was like my sous chef. He was just open the book, trying to like learn from culinary school. He came up. He made it by book, all right. Then he said, "Oh, can you taste this?" I'll taste it. I said, "Is something missing in there?" He said, "Oh, I did it like exactly what it was in the book." I said, "Okay, but this is not meaning book is right. Somebody write that book. They put it on the shelf. You go and buy it. This is not meaning you didn't like on the right way." I just say put like pinch of, for example, like pinch of the garlic in there, and add some more parsley. The pinch of like salt, and pinch of what you call I was using on the salad. I forget that name. That red stuff. Oh my God. And that works a lot on that tabbouleh. It just I forget the name of that spice.
Is it like a pepper
like
flake or?
like a pepper flake, but it's not pepper flake.
Yeah.
It's just giving like little soury things on it. I said put a pinch of that and mix it up. And mix it up. It's totally different. You change only like 2-3 things. It's different than book. I say you can only use book as a base.
Yeah.
You can take the base, then you can create like tons of different food from one base.
Yeah.
You add something, take it something out, try something else. You
That's
just need the base.
That's what makes cooking. In my opinion, that's the most creative part about cooking. And I try and explain that to a couple friends. And I have a friend, my friend Tim, who just started getting into cooking, and he was so self-doubtful of all of his cooking. And then like he started getting further on, and he's like, "Oh man, now I know why you do this." And he's texting me, and even with the timing, with how long you leave meat on a stove, and like getting into the temperatures, and he's like, "Dude, this is like an endless creative thing." And he goes, "Now I know why you do this." And I was like, "Dude, it out of everything I do, it is my favorite thing to do." Now this is like super creative, and like I get to interview people, but cooking is when you do it, it takes you somewhere because you're focused. So like all of the bills and everything is gone, and you're just focused on one thing, and then you're putting energy, time, and love into it. Because like I learned early on that, like, just from feeding friends, where like if I don't feel like cooking and I feed somebody a sandwich, they're like, "Oh, this is good." Now if I'm really into it and I put love into it and timing and I get it perfect and I give it to someone and they're like, "This is fantastic."
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's one of the only things that I'm able to do as well, where you can put that much energy into it and you actually get someone to experience what you're feeling through food.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest things ever. And I mean, I feel like it's a disservice to just read a book and follow it and not go into your own creative, because you're making it how somebody else saw it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, that's how he did it, and that's who he is as a person, but you might want a little bit more salt. You might want a little bit more sugar.
Exactly.
Make it the way you want it.
Exactly. I always say that, like whoever works with me, I said, when it comes like end of the cooking, that has to be like perfect plate. You're not just grabbing the food from the grill or wherever and throw it on the plate and put it on the table. I wanna see those people face when they see that place. They say like, oh wow, something like that. This is like, I'm so fussy about that, like creating plate.
Yeah.
Or
But it does matter
or
when
decorating plate. That's
when you hand somebody, even like when we came up for brunch, and I believe I got the French toast, and even how it came out and it had fruit on it, like I was like, this is French toast. Now, if that was just kind of thrown on there, like diner, like if you find like those like truck stop diners where the lady hates her job, and here you go,
here you go. That's what they do.
But I mean, but those places have their own place. Sometimes you want food like that, but like when you're trying to like give somebody a passion through food, the plating of it is also a part of it, where they're like, oh man, like they're already tasting it with their eyes before they put it in their mouth.
Yeah, exactly. That happened to me like when I had my first French toast in Europe. It's just in Turkey we don't have like such of like like French toast or something. We don't know even what is this, right? They just asked, what is this toast? It's just, I was like with my ex. So let me have this. She said, have it. You like it. There was actually the place in New York they call Toast.
Yeah.
Right? There's franchise. The Toast, people were like line up on that place for brunch. I said, okay, let me have like French toast. It's like 2 slices of toast actually. That came on that. I said, this French toast and just the sauce on that.
Yeah.
Simple syrup. All right. And the powdered sugar. I said, what are we gonna do with this? That's it? This is it? She said, yeah, this is it. Eat it. I eat it. I just say, you know what? I can do better than this. Like what if they call French toast to this? I can use like there's like lots of delicious bread out there. You can do like one of those, like make it better.
Yeah, I mean, I go through a lot of that, and if my friends cook, they're kind of on the similar page. But it's tough sometimes to go out to eat, and I'm like, well, why? Or I'll be with my girlfriend, and she'll be like, let's go here, and I'll be like, I can just make you something that's gonna be better than that. Oh, let's go down there, and I'm like, I don't really want to pay like $37. I'm like, we can go to Giant, and I'll spend 12 and make you something that's gonna blow your socks off.
Sometimes you don't want to do that. Sometimes
no. I mean, there's times where I'm just like, whatever, let's go somewhere and eat.
Yeah.
And then there's other times where I'm like, look, I like. I'm not trying to, be rude, but like I don't really want to spend that kind of money. Like what you said, where like somebody else's idea of French toast, where I'm going to take a brioche roll, and you know what I mean, and then like I'll fry the thing.
Yeah.
Like you could. Breakfast is my favorite thing to make. I love making breakfast sandwiches. The eggs are there's so many different ways to cook an egg.
Yeah, of course, it's so sensitive.
yeah.
It's so sensitive, but you can do million things. Million things with the eggs, but the things are these days the most people has like allergy for like everything. They allergic
it's
to
funny.
dairy. I'm vegan, I can't have this.
Yep. Do you have gluten free?
It's just I had customer, I won't blame them, they just asking, oh, is this gluten free? So how about falafel, this, that, and final things, how about your oil? I said, I'm sorry, my oil.
I used to get that a lot when I worked in restaurants, and then it came down to a point where it's like, look, if the list is over 3, just stay home.
Yeah,
like just
exactly.
If you're asking me what kind of oil I'm using, it's the standard oil that almost everyone's using. So like either you're just asking to ask, and if you're really that hyper allergenic to everything,
sit home
bring your own food.
Exactly.
Let everyone else eat whatever you're supposed to eat.
I agree.
I don't know.
There's lots of stuff going on, something like that.
I also don't like that there's a standard held that if I opened a restaurant, I have to cater to everyone. I don't. Yeah. It's my place.
Yeah.
When did that start turning the tide? When you now it's like, oh well, they have control. Well, what do you mean they have control? Why do I have to have everything on your menu if I don't want to have something vegan?
Yeah.
Or there's restaurants that do all vegan, and then it's like why can't I just be left to cook what I want to cook?
Yeah.
If you have issues with allergies, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just lots of I know. It's just, and I don't want to really take a chance because
then it's like
you don't know what kind of allergy they have.
Yeah, and then now you're talking a lawsuit if somebody gets sick and everything else, and nobody thinks about that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're not the one that's going to be in court.
Yeah.
When was it when you actually came over to the United States?
2012.
Yeah.
I came over to United States. I came to New York, actually. I had cousins in New York. So I work on their ice cream truck about 6 months till I find out like something like suitable for me, like cooking job or something different.
Was it a route? Like they just had an ice cream truck? where
Ice
you'd-
cream, yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Softy.
Yeah.
They route. We just keep going.
This is where you go. You stop
around,
here.
Yeah, around 2 blocks, like in one area. We got lots of truck. He got like 30 truck. So
That's a crazy business.
everybody got. They work in 6 months.
Yeah.
A year. After 6 months, they doing 6 month vacation.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
I wish I had like that kind of life.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure that 6 months is a grind. It's work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like, especially summertime.
It's
You
probably
like
crazy.
Inside of little truck.
Listening to the jingle all day
Jingle
long.
all day long. Air condition sometime working, sometime not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I worked 6 months, actually like one season. So when winter come, I find a job is in good restaurant in Brooklyn.
Did you like New York compared to where you were before?
Not really.
Yeah.
It just
Was it too much like hustle and bustle? Was it too loud?
too much hustle is the big city is not for me.
No.
Maybe my age, I used to love big cities when I was younger,
Yeah.
but now I don't really wanna
No.
in crowd.
No.
I don't wanna. I don't like that.
I was the same way when I was growing up. I always wanted to be in the city. I always thought I needed to be in the city to be successful. I always had this weird, well, I mean, everything you see here is what came out of me tapping into it, but I always had this weird drive, and I figured this small town, I got to be somewhere. And, I traveled to different places. I lived in Virginia for a little bit, and that was the first time like I was in a city in Richmond. Yeah. And I liked it, and I did everything I wanted to do there. I parked my car. I rode a bike to work. I had multiple jobs, worked at a bar, met, had a girlfriend, met all these people, and I would never want to live like that at all now.
Yeah, me
now
too.
that I'm like in my 40s, I'm like, okay, I just want to find a place out by my parents in Bushkill where it's quiet and get a dog and be left alone.
Yeah, I won't blame you.
Yeah.
Then I work in Brooklyn at like it was Turkish restaurant.
That's got to be crazy cooking in the city, man. Like I know I only really cooked around here, and I cooked a little bit in Virginia, but New York's got to be nuts to cook there.
It is like 285 people capacity that restaurant.
Yeah.
And they have like massive kitchen, 7 chef, 7 sous chef, and 5 like dishwasher. It just crowded.
Yeah.
Sometimes kitchen is crowded than restaurant when you're not busy.
Yeah.
There's lots of prep. It's crazy. As restaurant is open like till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's
like
different too about New York.
Two shift. They do breakfast, lunch, dinner. So they open the door like 7:30 in the morning. They close like 3 o'clock in the morning. There is only 4 hour different. They do cleaning in that 4 hours. So actually the restaurant never closed.
Yeah.
Somebody always there all the time. So I worked there like 2 years. I got more experience because the Europe, they cook different way. The United States is different. It's not like same. Also, like everything is same. It's not same. Like the can you using or vegetable you using, it's not same taste. Then after that, I move out. I worked 2 years. I move out to out east, Long Island. So I just take care off from cooking business, cooking industry. I work in beans company as machine operator. I was operating packaging machine, like 4 years. I operate that machine. Then after that, I go back to food industry again. I feel like
you need breaks though.
Yeah,
you need like if you start working long term in food, like there's such a burnout rate, and you're just it is one of the most grinding things I've ever done in my entire life.
Then I'll back to city, New York City on Greenwich Village. I work in Spanish restaurant. I was doing paella. I work in paella station about years. So I learned how to make paella stuff, just a little bit. Actually, it's kind of like it's similar to like Turkish kind of plate, like paella. So I can do this. Like I was doing like seafood paella mostly. I said, oh my God, I can do this like with the chicken. You can do chicken paella. You can do like lamb paella.
Yeah.
You can do vegetable paella. You can make like 5, 6 different kind of like paella. But on their menu, only like one paella they have, like seafood paella. They just made a station for that. They don't do anything else with that. And I'll try like lamb chop paella. I put lamb chop in their paella. I'll cook like, it takes like 32, 33 minutes to cook. It came out great, that one. Then they couldn't believe that, the Spanish people over there. Then this is it. Then I quit from that job. It's hard for me to travel from city to Long Island every day. It was very hard. Then I met Eileen. I moved out Pennsylvania. So one day we were sitting at Birthright, just drinking. And in the meantime, I was working in Martin Creek, Ardent Mill, the flour mill. I worked in Ardent Mill about 2 years. Then we were sitting with Eileen at the Birthright. I just get a little drunk. And she said to me, oh, why don't you go and get this place?
And that place was available for like
available.
a little year or something.
Yeah. It was a candy store. There was sign on it.
Yeah.
There was still like 2 cherry on it. It
Yeah.
says
Dolce. Yeah.
Dolce.
Yeah. It didn't.
I said,
it
well,
wasn't there long.
Yeah. I said, is that place available? She said, yeah. I said, well, let's find out who's the owner of this. Let's see, like, what's the rent of it. Then she said, are you sure? I said, yeah, only one thing I can get this. You got to take care of paperworks. I can do paperworks and cook and do shopping and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
You need help doing that stuff.
Yeah, then she said, all
it's
right.
unrealistic to do it alone.
Yeah, then she said, okay, I'll take care of it. Then we find the owner, Jay Orwick. So next day, he just come and show this store. And he said, oh, still like another few months on the list. Like leaseholder, they're holding the lease like another 2 months. So when lease is over, we can sign up new lease. I said, okay, fine. So we like the place. February 2019, we signed the lease. Then March, COVID started.
Yeah. Because I remember before COVID, the guys were coming in upstairs, and I was talking to Jay, and we always talk about what's coming into the town, and like, we always have hopes that like things are going to come in and stay there, and like, he looks at some things where it's like, hey, if all this stuff comes in at the same time, it's going to start bringing foot traffic, and maybe, just maybe, this deadbeat town will come to life.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember him telling me about you, but he was like, he's in no rush. He's just setting it up. He's getting everything ready. And it was the same with the guys upstairs. They were setting everything up, and then it was just everything stopped.
Yeah.
And that was my concern with the businesses that were in town where, I knew Harvey and Jay upstairs, and I was like, what are you guys going to do? And they're like, we don't know. Like, they were just about to open. And then I remember talking to Jay, and, he called, and we were just discussing everything going on. And, I was like, what's going on with, Mersin? And he's just like, we're going to wait. You got to wait. And then it's just like.
Actually, I didn't really wait that long. I would just wait like a few months.
Yeah.
I just decided to do work and build up my place slowly and wait like what's going to happen in the future.
That's not a bad thing to have happened where everything stopped, so you actually had time to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not in a rush being like, we got to get this open, we got a deadline.
No, yeah.
No one knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
So you might as well work on a project.
Yeah. That's what I did. I was working on night shift, daytime. When I come out from mill, 7 o'clock, I was coming to this store. I don't go to bed. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I was coming to this store. I don't go to bed. doing something like 3-4 hours every day, then go to bed, get up, back to work. 9 months it took me. But I'll build up. End of the day, I just say, you know what? I'm not gonna wait longer. I'm not gonna pay rent, like the work and pay rent for empty store.
Yeah.
Say we ready to open. Let's open. Is mine is mine. It doesn't matter. So whatever we get here is ours. Take out, indoor, outdoor, whatever. It is what it is. We're not expecting $1 million from that little place, but we survive.
Yeah.
So then here we are.
What was it like
very
creating your
exciting.
menu for everything you were doing? I mean, did you have a menu in place, or, I mean, I'm sure when you guys were talking like, oh, you should take the place across the street, did you know then you were like, you know what, we're going to do Turkish food, we're going to do the gyro,
I can cook like several different foods, but I always like make my own place as like proper Mediterranean restaurant,
yeah.
and it's gotta be Mediterranean food in there from my country. It's not like 100% food. Like this is not what we eat in from my country all the time, but those are from my country. I'm using my own spice. That's what I said. I said this is going to be like very authentic traditional place. That's why I brought gyro and all the appetizers. I made my own menu. I didn't get it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. Hey, this place has this. I gotta make this too. It's not. Some place they don't like to make okra. All right. It won't like good sell. The people normally like picking what is selling, what is not selling. I love fish, the bronzina fish. That's really like Mediterranean style fish from like sea bass family. I like sea bass, but most of the people doesn't like those kind of fish because they never had it before, I guess. But when you say salmon, they love salmon or shrimp or other stuff.
Or the barramundi.
Oh yeah, is those kind of stuff. But I'll keep my bronzini, then I'll start selling. The one people has that. Oh, he come next time. He say, "Oh, you have bronzini. Let me have another one." Then he recommend to somebody. This is how business growing up. Somebody recommend to others, and they come and try it, and next time they come and try like different food. Is I guess in this town, like some people like scared. They don't really know what is really like Mediterranean food is.
No, not at all.
They don't want to like. They don't really want to like give a shot and try it.
No, I mean, when you first came into town, I was excited, and the people that I talked to about it were also excited. But then there's also people, there's a reason why there's 27 pizza places and they all are open and make money.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, and I like that one of my favorite things that you brought to the town was something different.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to come into this town and then say, I'm going to sell pizza.
Yeah.
You could have done that and you could have made
I
money,
could've, yeah.
but like you're trying to do something different. You're trying to do something unique. You want to bring something to the area and not only just this town. And I think that's what the town is missing because everybody else comes in. They're afraid to take a chance, or they just want, like what you said, is they want to do the hits. All right, well, we're just going to do what sells. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, well, if this is a different version of it, that's great. But in 5 years, you're just still making pizzas. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? There are good pizzas in this town, but at the same time, how are you going to be someone that comes in and makes a really good pizza and you stand out over the two that everybody knows all the time? Mm-hmm. No, it's very hard to do.
It is.
So why not try something different and unique? And then when I was talking to Jay about it, I was like, yes. And then I was like, man, I hope the town accepts something different because it's so hard. And I think the generations that are disappearing, I think the people that are on in charge of things that go on around here, they're starting to get outnumbered by a new group of people that want to try different things. Yeah. And you have the younger kids across the street from you now going into the new apartments, and those are the people that want to spend money on things that's not pizza.
Yeah.
Like, what's awesome is the town is slowly turning into a point where now you can get a beer here, you can get Mediterranean food here, you can go down the street and get this there, and you don't have to leave Nazareth to have a good time and to experience different things. And
town get interesting.
it's very important that you came to this town.
I saw one guy. I met one guy yesterday on the street. Actually, he stopped by me. He had some coffee. He sit outside. We had conversation. And he want to move out to Nazareth from Bethlehem. He just say, oh, it's nice. There is Mediterranean restaurant here, brewery across the road. There is a pizza parlors. And town is nice, clean, quiet. He's just looking for the apartment rent. And then he said to me, I'm going to keep looking around it till I find it. That's what he want to do. I mean, this is good things. Like, more food business coming to this town is bringing more people over here.
The first time I was there is it was my birthday, and a friend of mine, I'm being pulled in different directions, and my friend Katie lives across the street. I go hiking with her a lot, and she's like, we're gonna do birthday in town. I was like, good. Like, I don't have time to do anything else. So he's like, we're going to go over to the plant store. She's like, I'm going to buy you a plant, which is the spider one in the back corner.
Right.
And then she's like, and then we're going to go over to Mersin. And I was like, awesome. And she travels, she eats food, she goes into the city a lot. So I trust her when we went there. And she was like, wow. Like, she was impressed with the menu, where she was like, this is all legit items that would be on a legit Mediterranean place anywhere else but Nazareth. So I was like, awesome. I was like, you order. So we ordered, and you came over, and then you were so nice to us. And then you were like, do you want a complimentary beer? I'm like, it's my birthday. And then, it was an experience before we even got the food. And then, like, the place is really cool. And we sat over by the window, which you said everybody likes to sit by. And I even said that in my post, where I was like, this is the place to sit. And then when the food came out, everything was fantastic. And I was open to trying all the food. Like, I didn't know what half the food was. She explained it to me. We ordered, I think the one thing was like a bunch of different appetizers came on the plate, and it was fantastic. It looked awesome. It was fantastic. Then we split the gyro, and I was like, because I know a gyro, but then I was like, oh, this is a gyro. This isn't an American version of a gyro. And then when I had that, I was like, man, how lucky are we to have this in town? And I'll walk up the street now to get a gyro. It comes with fries, and I'm like, we didn't have that. It's just the pizza places. I'm so glad you like the food, and most people, that's really my enjoyment. I don't even really look end of the day how much money I make. I don't really care. I'm just like, when I see that impression on face of those people, they love it. I mean, they all happy. They live happily in my place. That's make me happy. So when I go to bed, I'll sleep really good. But then the other thing,
and on my gyro, when we come to gyro, my gyro is the 100%, 1,100%. I'm using good quality meat on my gyro. In my gyro, there is no spice. In my gyro, only salt and oregano in there. Nothing else. No flour, nothing. And it's gluten-free, 100%. I don't use flour on my gyro. It is when you mix it good amount meat, quality meat, just mix it up. It's hold together. The most place, they use flour because they can put that gyro together without flour. They're using onion flour, they're using garlic flour, they're using regular flour. And
because you keep it simple, it's just, what is it, lettuce, tomato, the gyro meat?
Lettuce, tomato, cucumber, gyro meat. That's
so good. It's so good.
I do. With this doing Mediterranean seasoning on it, then I remember that seasoning, that was sumac.
Oh, all right.
That was sumac. We add on the tavoli.
Yeah.
That's the sumac.
Then when we were there, we also realized that there's something else that's not offered in this town, and it was brunch. And you were like, I do brunch. But then when I found out where you cooked, I was like, oh, this brunch is going to be ridiculous. So then we came back for my birthday, because they
Next day, I
they
guess,
wanted to
yeah.
go out, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm getting drunk
Yeah.
for my birthday,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to get in a car and drive with you to Easton, Bethlehem. And I was like, if you want to do anything, I will go with you to Mersin. And I was like, bring champagne because it's we could do the BYOB at the brunch, and it was fantastic. I got the French toast. They all got something they liked. We brought champagne. I believe you had the orange juice, but like once again, there's nowhere to get brunch in this town, let alone a cup of coffee. Then I know you're doing the Turkish coffee there. Like the amount of stuff that you're offering to this town, I don't think enough people realize is what's here. You're offering at least 5 things that this town has never had, and everyone keeps complaining is not here.
Yeah,
You cover brunch,
exactly.
you cover coffee, you have a different food besides pizza, and
Desserts.
You have the
Two,
the
three,
baklava.
4 different desserts.
I only had the baklava so far, but then you also have outside seating with the lights. Like, I'm pumped for summer because the stuff that you want to do and why I wanted to start working with you, and we'll get into the pop-up we're doing with Jay, is like, you were like, I want to do a little music outside with some belly dancers.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, somebody wants to do something in this town. They're not talking about doing something. You're like, hey, I'm bringing this to the area.
Actually, I'm so excited about those the plan with the J and you.
Yeah.
It just I'm even like when I go to bed, I'm thinking about that, how it's gonna be. And,
Yeah, I picture it a lot.
And what we can add to make like just little touch we can make like entertainment. I had friends. He lives in Nazareth. His name is Robert too. He playing drum. He's professional drummer. Then he got whole set of his drum. I said, oh, why don't you? We're gonna do event. Why don't you bring it out over here? You just show your skill to people. We can set up right front of the Bruce. Right? We can set up. You just show your skill. You say, oh, I have friends like musicians. I said, let's bring them over here. Let's do live music. Have beer, burger.
Yeah.
I told them, I said, listen, I don't mind to pay you. I don't care.
It's for the event.
Yeah.
Because we got together
Let's do
and
it.
we didn't know what we were going to do. And I was like, all right, well, let's try and keep it simple for, working with 3 people and what we could do about it. And then that's when I was like, hey, like, what about a lamb burger? And I was like, let's put a little smoke on it. Yeah. And then we started going back and forth. And then you made me 2 versions, and the last version was insane. You did a beer cheese and you put the onion ring on top of it. And then when we added smoke the first time, like, I just kind of went down there with the raw lamb and we made the burger, and then we just let it sit. And when we went out to check on it, I was like, oh, this is, because what I'm excited for is how easy it is to execute it. Like, because that's the stuff nobody thinks about. Like when I went and did the Smash Burger pop-up, and he helped me on that one, there's a lot going on. There's people waiting. You can only do so much on the thing, but I'm like, man, you could put 150 burgers on Jay's smoker at once, and they're not going to, because you can control the temp, so you're doing it slow and low.
Yeah.
You to overcook it would be another hour.
Yeah, exactly,
so it's like
exactly.
the burgers will be the burgers are going to be gone in and out, in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, we could have everything ready. And then Jay's like, yeah, man, it'll be really easy to do this. Yeah. And then I love working with Jay. I mean, they sponsor the show, and we're working on doing events together, and I'm slowly getting back into food. And I was like, cool, here's a third person now that'll want to do stuff with myself and Mad J. And it's like, we could, then we started talking like, man, there's multiple pop-ups we could do.
Yeah, we can do lots of stuff. It's like, I don't mind if we bring up something, I'm on it.
Yeah,
I can do that.
No, but that was like what I'm excited for is when I asked you about doing this. Like, I talk to people sometimes, and I'm intense and let's go. I'm to the floor with everything. Yeah. The older I get, it's not quite to the floor, but like I like to get into stuff. And it's like I know Jay does, but like I was impressed from your end where you were like, yeah, let's do it. And then you were texting me and being like, hey, are we meeting tomorrow? And you were making sure that like we were following through. And I'm like, finally, somebody in town. There's people I've tried to work with in town that are like, yeah, okay, yeah. And then they blow me off, or I invite them to come on the show to try and grow Nazareth. And then they blow me off. And I'm just like, well, what is the point of you being in town not working with other people when, you know what I mean? Like,
that's
it's just, It's pointless. It's
Yeah,
pointless.
exactly.
And everyone's like, oh, small business, and then,
no.
okay, well, let's actually work with each other. So when we came on, when it was the three of us, I was like, dude, this is going to be awesome. And then when you met Jay, you know, like you're like what you said to Jay, you're like, I love him. He doesn't have an ego.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He just
have
wants
ego.
to work.
No. Yeah.
No.
That's me too. It's same. That's another things like in this town, like people keep asking like stuff. Oh, next time we should bring like taco truck or other truck or whatever. I said, okay, then if something happened over here in this town, right? Any event or any like something to do with the schools, then don't come and knock my door.
Yeah.
Go knock the truck
Yeah.
door.
Yeah. Because it's like if you want to have a food truck festival,
Yeah,
and then you need money for your booster club.
Yeah.
Go ask all the food trucks that were in town.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Exactly. So you bring in food truck. Don't come and ask me, hey, can you give like 10% off to people because we bring in people over here. I said, no, go ask the food truck to give 10% off to the people.
I don't like the way a lot of stuff's done in town. I never thought that I would be a part of trying to change the way things are in town. I thought by this point, because I could easily take this whole thing and go out into the woods, buy a rancher and do this in a basement in a house. But I think I'm just too driven at this point to see people like yourself come in and want to do all these projects and work on all this stuff. And then sometimes there's nobody else that wants to do that. And I'm like, all right, well, I need to find the people that want to work and do stuff, grab them and then grow things up. And I mean, one of the things I told you is, and what I said it 2 years ago, and it's going to eventually happen. And especially after we move the studio, was like, I want to shut the block down and I want to make everybody on the block who owns a business provide a service. And when they provide the service out front, they keep the money.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I am in it.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, I know he'll want to do it. I know Mad J, because I'll have Mad J come up. I'm not excluding him. Yeah. He's a part of the town. Yeah. So you come up, you set up, you sell barbecue up at your end, put some live music. It's like we used to do the block party in town every year, and it was a massive thing that the entire town enjoyed doing.
You can do lots of stuff in this town. The problem is to get everybody together in same page.
Yeah.
That's the problem is, as you said before, people saying, oh, hey, okay, that's good idea. Let's do it. I said, okay, then put your hand on the table.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the risk.
Yeah, but what is the risk of it?
There isn't.
There is no risk.
Like we said, like when we talked about doing the pop-up, we were like, okay. And then I looked at it and I was like, all right, well, what is this really going to be? Well, this is going to be 3 people working together. The content that you get for social media is going to be a ton. And then it's 3 people supporting each other's businesses in Nazareth.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's it. That's all that comes out of it.
What we're gonna lose? We still here.
Yeah.
My restaurant still is gonna be there.
Yeah.
Is gonna be there. It doesn't matter. I'm doing this or I'm not doing this.
Yeah, and it's not like we're not going to sell food. People eat food every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm excited to do it. I know we talked about doing it in May, and just kind of figuring out with April just kind of coming to an unwind and waiting for the weather to pop. But I feel like once the weather pops and we get one under our belt, I think it's going to be pretty easy to just kind of, and then when you start doing the entertainment, which you plan on doing anyways, then it's just going to be another added asset. And then with you talking about possibly getting parking across the street and then having that lot in order to hold events like it's really going to be a game changer.
That's gonna be probably me, you, and Jay, or if anybody to join us. It's gonna be the next event right across the road to a parking lot.
Yeah, because it's right behind the Y, and you have that giant open space.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak to owner soon. They're gonna open soon, and probably she can give us a specific date. You can do it like these days or whenever she close.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to her yet, but I'm pretty sure she will be positive about that. I can't wait to finish this and start another one.
I mean, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun to do. And then it's just like, once the farmer's market opens, then there's going to be a little bit more foot traffic, and then you could start doing different things on those days, and it's just growing all this stuff. And
that's block party is good idea. If we
they used to do it years ago. They used to do it years ago.
If we just get a permit and schedule on
Yeah.
farmer marketplace.
It would just be, all you would have to do is you'd have to go down to the board meetings that they have, which I don't even know if they have them anymore because of COVID, but you would have to find out who to talk to, and then you'd have to pick a day, and then you run it by the mayor. And like, because I had to do all this stuff for the skate park. So it's like when you do an event like that, you have to figure out when it's going to be. And now I know the chamber does like some kind of beer festival, and they do it out front of the studio.
Yep.
And then there's like the Martin on Main, which you'll be connected into, because there is some stuff that you will be connected into that like Martin on Main, I believe, is one. And then there used to be like a biker festival, which was cool. And a lot of people came to, but then sometimes people don't want to run that shit. And it is a job to run that stuff, but I don't know. I'll do it once.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm still new in this town.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. It just, I was offered like 15% off on last event on Belvedere Street.
Yeah.
That's the like plant, the plant event. The people come and plant.
Yeah.
They just show me their tickets, so I give them 15% off.
Yeah.
Indoor, outdoor, or.
They said that event did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was well. It was. They everywhere, like all that store was busy on that day.
She's another one. I invited her to come on the podcast. I'd like to have her on the show, but she's another one that I believe is one who wants to work and grow.
She's very nice.
Yeah,
person.
Her business is awesome. She's bringing so many people in the town.
Yeah, she is, and they always come to my place to eat as well. And I got the plant from her store.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Like two palm trees. They so good.
She's good people.
Yeah. And we're going to keep shopping from that place, and we're going to keep shopping from local.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only way to kind of grow the town. And I think, and I said it the other day, with having you here and with having the plant store here and with these new store, and I think there's another one coming in. It might be a soft opening next to the plant store, which is one of her friends. I think it's like a home goods type thing.
Yeah, home goods, yeah.
Yeah. So I think just that alone is kind of the start into more stuff coming.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe a bakery opening soon sometime.
Yeah, I heard that as well. There used to be one down the street. I don't know if it's still going. If there's one going in there. My friend owns a tattoo shop. I think it's across the street from there.
Yeah, they still working on it. So it could be like another good things.
And then what else opened? It was like a vegan, medicinal or organics lotion shop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't gone in there yet.
This is what I'm thinking. Why not? Like, why we can get together and do something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just something interesting to bring more people from Allentown, Bethlehem.
Yeah.
So whatever town around Nazareth.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get into projects. I'm going to wrap it up because I know you have to get back to the restaurant. And we're going to do so many projects together, but I wanted to kind of introduce everybody to you and kind of show everyone. I mean, I've been posting about you and whatnot, but I wanted everyone to kind of see and hear the story, which is why I wanted to podcast. We're going to be working on so many projects together, and I know we're going to be bringing Mad J in, and I think this week we should figure out the date completely and get everything. Like Wednesdays is usually when I can kind of go down there, as long as Jay has a free moment. I know he's back and forth at Seven Sirens, but when he's got time, we can, we'll really discuss and get it nailed down. But I want to give you a chance to kind of promote how anybody can call the restaurant, what they should search for to find the restaurant, what your social media is, and all that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, first of all. And
he's good. He's a trooper over there.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Right. And I'm so excited for like our project. I already start promoting like our.
Yeah, you said there's a lot of buzz going around about it.
Yeah, lots of people, they start asking already. They stop by and asking that. I'm just planning to make maybe little banner or something like that. Just hang it up on my door or on my window. that letting people know after we decided what date because we're gonna do this.
Yeah, that's why I want to get it locked in, and then we can kind of make like a flyer for it, and then we'll put it at your place, and I have some graphic people that can handle it, and then maybe even we'll just take a picture of the burger and kind of use that, or we'll do something, and then I'll start pushing it heavily on here, and then we'll just get it all wrapped up together.
Yep.
If anyone wants to order online, is it mersinonmain.com, or do you guys have the website set up?
We can put it on. We can put it on my website. We can set up this very easily. We can set up whatever we need, and we can remove it after event.
Okay. And the website is Mersin on Main for anyone who wants to order.
Mersin on Main,
I think if you just Google it, all the different ways to order and check out the menu and all that.
If they go to website, the Mersin on Main, they're going to see like special section right on the front.
Yeah.
If they hit special, it will come up.
Cool. And then I think your Instagram is just Mersin on Main at Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and then in my opinion, the best way to experience that food is to go in there, get a reservation, get a table, and then just kind of really enjoy. I mean, just from being on here, I hope everyone sees that like you come up and interact with people as well. Yeah. It's not just like you're like, okay, I'm making food and you're ignoring everyone. You come to the table, you greet them. It is it's an experience when you go there, and I believe the best way to experience it is in person. And that Sunday brunch is awesome. Yeah. But once again, thank you for coming into Nazareth. Thank you for taking the risk of wanting to do something in Nazareth. Yeah. I appreciate it. I've been dying for people to come in this town and leech onto and work with. And if you're a first-time listener to our show, you can go to neveragainstudio.com. It has all the apparel. It has the podcasts on video, audio. It has all the services that we provide if you're a small business and you're looking to grow. And go check out all of his stuff. Thank you, Tucker. I know it kind of gets boring over there sometimes, but one day you'll look back on it and you'll be like, man, Uncle Michael was cool. All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
That went awesome.